I guess it's best described as taking several different components and assembling those in a production environment to come out with a finished product. Like in furniture, we take fabric, wood, polyurethane foam, fiber. We cut those, we assemble the frames, and then as it goes down the production line, the fabric is put on the piece of furniture till when it gets to the end, you have a finished product. So it's taking all those components and putting them together to come up with a quality product.
I know it's really hard to think about where you're going to go or what you're going to be in high school, but by the time you're in the 10th, 11th grade, you really need to start thinking about a path. I was always fortunate that I had a really good background in math. I could do really good with mathematics. I never really struggled in that field of math. Of course, you take many different courses and classes when you're in high school. I had accounting and all your basic classes, but beneficial to the career in manufacturing, I think math is a pretty strong field, which includes algebra and some of those things, and that helps set your baseline for when you go into those careers. Fortunately for me, it worked out for a period of time. That it took me a while, but I've made it to, engineering and then into management with that. But math was a big background for me in being able to do that.
Within manufacturing, you're going to have excellent people skills, communication skills, and really analytical skills. Because what we do all day long is solve problems. So you need to be able to think through problems and to strategize to determine how to best solve everything.
Yeah, I think manufacturing requires hard work. You want to be able to work. You feel like you need to go in and work. Somebody that's driven is very, very important in the manufacturing field. There's going to be hard days, so you've got to kind of surpass those days to get up and go on in and go to work and drive through that. If you've got that drive, though, and that's what I think is really important, is if you can maintain that drive, then you can do so much more than just hourly worker on the floor. You can do that progression up, and the ability to be able to understand what the hourly worker on the floor has to go through as you advance up into management is really, really important, because you have to have that background to know what they're dealing with on the floor every day. If you don't have that, or you just go into management, sometimes you may make a decision that might not be the best for the people on the floor and the people doing the job every day. So it's really, really important to know that.
Attitude is huge. I think that if somebody said, I've got a straight A student that has done great in every curriculum that they've done, and yet they just are kind of quiet and maybe, I wouldn't say shy, but reserved, and maybe they have a little a bad attitude, and you give me a person that's got C's and they got a great attitude, I'll take a person with C's with a great attitude.
When you start talking about mentorship, typically you have to have someplace that you can go that for your age. If some places you have to be at a certain age before you can even come in with around some of the equipment. With us, they do have the programs to while you're in college, even at your first semester, they're offering students an opportunity to come into the facility to start learning part of their job, learning a little bit about work. Because sometimes at 18 years old after high school, you really haven't had a whole lot to do. So with that gives them opportunity to work, make a little bit of money, and go into school all at the same time, and we work around your schedule. So it's not like you have to do it this time. You let us know what time you can work. We'll work around it to give you the opportunity. And if everything works out well, by the time 2 years rolls around with your degree in tool and die or maintenance, you have the ability to be hired on, making a lot more than you were as somebody in school, because now you have a degree and you get paid a little bit more for your knowledge, and you've had 2 years of knowledge that's been pretty much given to you before you even get to be in the workforce at the plant as an employee full-time.
Entry-level jobs are going to be probably an annual salary of the low 30s. That's going to be warehouse people, shipping personnel, and we've had many people that we have hired at that level that have moved up into what we call the higher skill jobs, like cutting or sewing or upholstery. And when you get in those higher skill jobs, you're looking at about $40,000 a year. We've had some that started in shipping that are in management now, and you're looking at salaries in the 60,000s, and then as you progress upwards to over 100,000, should you progress and have the experience and things like that.
So one thing's good for, I think, really good for North Mississippi, or the southern region, as we like to call it, southeast region, is that manufacturing, especially automotive, is moving into this direction. You're seeing a lot more of that movement into the southeast. We've got a lot of companies that in the surrounding area, automotive-wise, that are here. The benefit of that also is that they have to have their supply chain and their supply base here. So if a big company like Toyota is here, we have so many different suppliers that are in the area that also are opportunities to walk your way up. Northeast Mississippi has also been a great big hub for furniture manufacturing for many years, as long as I can remember. So those furniture plants are still a staple in the industry, a staple in this area.
I love digging in data. I love something that's complicated to where I can actually have to think to solve it. Some jobs you can sit there and you can type all day long. It's very monotonous. I love the fact that my job is not monotonous. There's something different every day. There's something new. There's something exciting. No matter if it's hard. We have new equipment coming in all the time, and it's a challenge, but I enjoy a challenge.
The thing that I like daily is just having that different thing happen every day. Being in charge of quality and being able to say that the car can ship or it can't ship for the customer at the end of the line is really important to me. You have to have that voice, and you have to think about the job as that, right? It's not just it's a good part or a bad part, but it's more so that the customer, it could be your daughter, your son, your wife, your mother, father driving one of those cars. So you want it to be the safest and the best quality car that could ever be going out the door. The fact that I get to do that is really important to me.